Most of us are being overwhelmed by a million and one guru trying to show us how to make money with AI and automation. But unfortunately, most information online is complete bullshit. It's usually shiny ideas, nerdy hacks, and not practical advice that doesn't make you any money. And if you're like billions of other people, it's safe to say that you don't want to just play with the technology, but you actually want to profit from it. If that's the case, then in today's video, I'm going to show you one of the most hidden ways to use AI and automation to print money. It's one of many practical ways that I use to grow my sales team agency to 105K a month after getting banned on Upwork as a freelancer. I can confidently say that this method is something that almost nobody is talking about simply because they haven't been through the trenches of business yet. I will connect two industries that desperately need each other. I'm going to whip out the offers, show you the copywriting, and I'm going to do it live in front of you. And the reason I'm doing this is to show you guys how to actually use AI and automation the real way so you guys have everything you need to get up and running yourself. So let's make some freaking money. So this tactic is part of the anti-fragile method, which is a scaling tactic that I use to grow my sales agency to 105K a month. And the goal here is just to find types of businesses that always need each other's help. This way they can trust each other and always have new customers coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect e-com brands with logistic companies. Okay? Just because logistic companies help e-commerce brands with things like warehouse management systems, fulfillment, etc., etc. And e-commerce brands are great customers for logistic companies because they help them with shipping and organizing. If you guys don't know, when an e-com brand gets popular, they get way more orders. Their old way of packing and shipping things doesn't work anymore, so they need help with better tools. Another thing is, as their stores get bigger, they open more places to keep their stuff, so it's hard to keep track of everything in different places without help. And as you guys know, people today want their orders super quickly, so online stores need better systems to make sure things are packed and shipped fast. So your offer to them is going to be, hey, logistic company, I'll connect you with your ideal clients, fast-growing e-commerce brands that need warehouse/logistic help. So simply, we're going to find logistic companies, and then we're going to have to find fast-growing e-commerce companies, and essentially, we're just going to connect them to each other, and we're going to get paid for the introductions or consulting or percentage of the deals, whatever you want, okay? So when it comes to industries, so for the logistic company, we're going to go for logistics, supply chain, transportations, warehousing, fulfillment, etc., etc. And in terms of the company size, we're going to go from 10 to 200 employees. So just because these companies are going to be small enough to need new clients and big enough to pay, and ideally we would want recently funded, bootstrapped logistic companies, okay? So not massive companies. And when it comes to e-commerce, we're going to go for obviously industry e-commerce, consumer goods, retail, apparel and fashion, health and wellness products, food and beverage, and DTC brands. So these companies, they physically ship products, so they have warehouses. And in terms of the company headcount, we're going to go for 51 to 500 employees, just because at this size, they probably have 1 to 2 warehouses that are scaling. And we're also going to go for recent funding, so last 12 months from Series A to Series C. In terms of money raised, it has to be from 5 million to 50 million raised, okay? Just because at that point, scaling problems begin. Now you might be wondering, Saad, well, why not go for 1 to 10 employees? Well, because these are small brands, okay? They don't have big operation problems yet. And again, we're not going to go for massive brands, which is 5,000 plus employees, just because these companies already have entire ops departments, okay? So what we're doing essentially is we're hunting the growing pain stage right when they're desperate for better logistics, but don't have it yet figured out. And this is what I mean by pain sniffing, okay? And pain sniffing essentially just means finding a problem or a gap in the markets and just using AI and sales automation to solve it. Now, obviously, whenever you build out a sales system to reach out to these companies, you want to identify the lead sourcing databases, and you also want to pre-draft something called a dream email. So here's the dream email that we're going to be sending to the e-commerce business. Hey X, noticed hypothetical e-com store is scaling fast. Congrats on the growth. Usually around the 2 warehouse mark, brands start hitting logistic headaches, shipping mistakes, slow picking, and stock outs. I can connect you with vetted partners who specialize in scaling fulfillment operations quickly, including WMS setups, automation, and 3PL options. Would this be even a priority? Happy to share a few intro options. So let's just go ahead and dissect this copy. So essentially what we're doing is we're speaking to their reality. Growing brand equals warehouse, growing pains, and we're sounding low pressure. Would this even be a priority? Which invites honesty. And the tone here is we're offering help. We're not pitching some heavy tech nobody asked for. Like we're not pitching some crazy shiny automation it's not going to help them. Okay, so the only thing that they care is pre-qualified meetings with these decision makers and essentially ideal clients at scale. Okay, so this is the copy that's tailored for the e-com brands. Now let's just go ahead and dissect the copy that's going to be for the logistic companies. So hey X, congrats on raising 80 million. Getting Nvidia as a backer shows the real tech strength behind your logistics efforts. Quick idea, I run a system that connects companies like yours directly with growing e-com brands that are expanding to 2+ warehouses and need serious logistic help. Big opportunity right now. I already found 150 growing brands that need you. Want the intro? As you guys can see, I'm saying words like intro, partners, okay? So this just already like frames me as a growth partner, not like a random lead gen service, okay? So again, it speaks directly to their goal. More qualified clients, not random traffic that nobody cares about. Again, the tone is low pressure, and we position ourselves as a growth partner, not a salesperson. And the email is pretty short, okay? It's optimized for fast mobile reading. Just because in my experience working with logistic companies, time is tight for them. So their job is fast-paced with constant problem solving. Long emails get skipped and a short one gets read. Another thing is that they're always on the move. So they usually are checking emails on their phones between site visits, meetings, or while managing drivers. Okay, so this is the emails that we're going to be using. Now let's just go ahead and scope the project together. So the ideal lead sourcing database for these companies is going to be Crunchbase. Okay. Just because whenever you hear something like startup funding, just go for Crunchbase. Okay, it's the ideal lead sourcing database. So what we're going to do is scrape. So it's going to be scrape Crunchbase, okay? And then what we're going to do is, so whenever you scrape Crunchbase, you're going to get access to the decision maker. So what we're going to do is we're going to find decision makers email, just because we want to reach out to them directly. And step 3 is we're going to generate personalized emails at scale, obviously that feel 101, okay? So it makes closing deals easier for us. Okay, so step 1 is I'm gonna have to go to crunchbase.com. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to advanced search companies. And then let's just go ahead and build this list. So industry, logistics, supply chain, transportation. Okay, so let me go to companies. And there's going to be overview, and I'm going to go to industry, and it's going to be logistics. So transportation, logistics, supply chain. So supply chain, transportation, and another thing is right service, warehousing. We're already at 124,000 company. Okay, so in terms of number of employees, we want to go to 10 to 200. Okay, so 10 to 250. Okay. And then financials, we're going to go to financials, which is last funding. We're going to go past year. 1,000 results. So what I'm going to do is founders. Okay, I have founders. I have the total funding amount. I have the websites. So, okay. So these are all logistic companies. Okay, they already have like case studies, etc. All right, great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to apify.com and I'm going to go ahead and scrape this lead list by going to the search bar and I'm going to type in Crunchbase. And I'm going to go to Ultimate Crunchbase Search Scraper. I'm going to click Try for Free. And I'm simply going to copy this URL, Control C. And then I'm just going to paste it here in the search or list URL. Total of numbers of records required, I'm going to leave at 1,000. I'm going to remove the cookies. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to need a extension. It's called Edit This Cookie. And it's going to be an Edit This Cookie, which is Google Extensions. Now, already have it. Now, the only thing you have to do is just click on Add to your browser, and you're going to have it in your extensions bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Extensions, and I'm going to go to Edit This Cookie, Cookie Extract. So extract the cookie. And then I'm just going to paste it here. And in terms of proxy, make sure it's always residential and go to run options. And it's going to be no timeout and click on save and start. And then the scraper is going to go ahead and scrape all this data for me. Okay. So the only thing we have to do now is just wait a little bit while the scraper is basically gathering all this data for us. Okay. So while this scraping, let's just go ahead and build the e-commerce list. Okay. Because we're going to connect both of them. And let's just go to the e-com. So e-commerce, consumer goods. So e-commerce. And then consumer goods. Okay, consumer. So go to consumer goods. And then retail. Yeah, huge. Retail. Okay. 1,500 is pretty good. In terms of the, company headcount, 51 to 500. So 50. So, okay, I have all these companies now. Okay, which is, let me look at this. Okay, so these are all companies in the e-com space. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy this list and I'm going to go to Crunchbase, essentially just paste in the search URL. I'm going to scrape 1,000 again and click on save and start. So essentially I have two runs in the background that are running. So the scraper is scraping the list of e-commerce brands and also scraping the list of the logistic companies. Okay. And at the end, I'm going to have two lists of two ideal clients and I'm just going to connect them together. Okay. So this is scraping. As you guys can see, scraped 50, 50, 50. Okay. And then I have the run in the background. Okay, so one scraped the 1,000 records. Okay, this is the first one. And then if I go to runs, I will see that the latest one is working that we just put here. Okay, if you see this error, no time, like timeout, don't worry. It's just a scraper basically like changing its proxies. Okay, so we're just gonna wait a little bit. Okay, sweet. So like I said, guys, even if you see error timeout, it's just the scraper changing its proxies. Okay, so I have my logistics company list here, and I have my e-com brands list here. So the only thing I'm going to do now is just going to build a straightforward sales system that's going to basically just generate all these emails for me, and essentially just going to reach out to them automatically, okay? And it's probably going to take us like 10 minutes, okay? So now I'm going to go to make.com, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Apify, get data set items, okay? And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on add. Connection type is going to be Apify, and it's going to be API token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings, go to API integrations, and I'm going to copy this API key that I have. And I'm simply going to paste this here. There we go. And then let me go back to my run. I'm going to go to storage, copy dataset ID. Okay, paste it here. Limit is going to be 1. Click on save, run once. And there we go. I have this company right here. And then I'm going to name this get data from Epify. Okay, save this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a platform called Email Finder, which is Email Finder. Okay, then I'm going to go to API. Okay, go to app. I'm going to go to API, and here's my API key. Okay, I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back, go to an email finder, search for a person's email. I'm going to go to add again and just paste in my API key. And then let's just name this logistics and ecom. Click on save. And I'm going to go to search by domain. And I'm simply going to paste in, and I'm simply going to map the domain along with the full name. Okay, full name, which is founder. Okay, click on save. And if I run once, an email finder is going to try to find the email. Looks like it found the email. Okay, great. So this is going to be find decision maker. Okay. And then now the only thing we have to do is go to Entropic Claude. And you do not need to be married to Entropic Claude. Okay, you can use any AI model. It's just that Claude is just the best man when it comes to like writing emails. So I'm going to use Claude Sonnet, which is the newest actually. Not the newest in terms of like models, but like they recently updated. In terms of the max tokens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3060. And here's what I'm going to go to add messages. User content is going to be text. And I'm going to put myself here. So I want you guys to actually look at the prompt and read it, etc. And then the prompt is going to be very simple. I'm going to go to my 7-figure prompt. We don't want something crazy, okay? Because we want to make sure our emails are like easily read. And this is the one that I want actually. The recent achievements, okay? Control C, paste that in here. And then I'm going to actually add like an extra thing here, which is use 3rd grade language simple. And then I'm going to go to show advanced settings and I'm going to lower the temperature to 0.6. I want to go for more of like a casual tone. And I'm just going to simply feed in the company description. Okay. And I'm also going to map the last funding at, which is last funding at. And then the last funding total, which is the value. Last funding type, which is post IPO. And I'm also going to feed in the category, which is category. Okay. I click on save. And I'm going to run once. Okay, let's just run once. And then let's see. Congrats on the 40 million private equity round. Building trust in supply chains is harder than most realize. Okay, so let's just name this personalize first line. Okay. And then now what we're going to have to do is simply go to our presentation, our beautiful presentation here. And I'm simply going to copy. So this is the ecom. Okay, this is the one that I want. Okay, Control C. I'm going to go back. Click on this plus button. I'm going to go to tools, set, variable, paste this here. And I'm going to do, hey, the first name of that guy. Okay, so I'm just going to map it from an email finder. So split base of a space. And then I'm going to get 1. And then I'm also going to add I'll just go for a dash. And I'm going to add the personalized line. And then I'm also going to just basically just copy this. And yeah, so this is going to be like a campaign where we basically launch it at the same time. And whenever they reply, essentially we're just going to make the intro. Okay. just because now you essentially have both of them ready. Okay, they both want each other. It's like being a wingman. It's like connecting two people that want to date each other. Okay, so email exists if email found. Okay, we're just adding a filter here. Okay, let me just run once. And then let's just read through this. So looks like, I don't know why we didn't get the first name here. So, oh yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, so I don't want to deal with any problems with an email finder, so simply I'm just gonna map the founder. Yeah, it's way better. So value. And then let's actually read through this. Congrats on the 40 million equity round. Building trust in supply chains is harder than most realize. And yeah, let's just run once again. We're not going to have that issue now. That's interesting. Am I split? Okay, split founder. Oh yeah, silly mistake. So split founder base of a space. Okay, and then get one. Get one. Okay, so we're splitting Kevin, not literally, based of a little space. You see the space here? And we're getting one, which is Kevin. Okay, and then let's just save this again. Run this for our sanity. And then let's see now. Okay. So, hey Jennifer, congrats on the 40 million PA round. Building trust in supply chains is harder than most realize. The reason why we don't have Kevin is because in this company we have multiple founders. So there's Jennifer and also Kevin, if you're wondering. I also found 150 growing brands that need you. Want the intro? Thanks for the time, Sad. Okay, great. So now essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to basically Control C, add everything here. Okay. And then let's just name this logistics data. Check this out. Ecom data. And now here's what I'm going to do. I'm essentially, I'm going to go to ecom data. And I'm going to go to the second run that I have here, which is the ecom companies. Control C, or basically copy. Paste this here. And then save. And then let me just run this module only. Okay. So I have essentially this ecom business. And then now I'm going to map the value. And again, I'm going to map the founder here. Lauren. Save. Personalized first line. And same thing, I'm simply going to change the copy. Okay. So see how easy it is to use AI the real way. Okay. This is what I mean by actually using sales automation and AI to do things, not just BS, right? So I'm connecting two businesses. I'm solving this is essentially like a real business problem. Okay. And I'm connecting decision makers with their ideal clients. Okay, so let's just add a new line here. And then in terms of the founder, I'm going to have to make sure I correctly map the data. So split, and it's going to be ecom and founder identifier, which is this lady, Lauren, base of a space. And then again, get one. Okay. And I'm going to basically add the copy, which is text response. And then, so personalizing the first line, generating the dream email. Okay, we found the email. Then let's just read through this. Hey Ariel, congrats on reaching 7.3M. Building a people-centered fertility system that helps everyone is rare. Usually around the 2 warehouse mark, brands start hitting logistic headaches, shipping mistakes, low picking stock cows. I can connect you with vetted partners who specialize in scaling fulfillment operations quickly, including WMS setups, automation, and 3PL options. Would this even be a priority? Happy to share a few intro options. Okay, let me just add a new line here. Click on save. And now I'm going to click on this ad and I'm going to go to instantly. Okay. So I'm going to go add leads to a campaign. And essentially, I'm just going to copy, paste. Okay. And essentially, I'm going to go to instantly.ai, which is going to be my cold email software of choice. Okay. Instantly is way better than Smart Lead in my experience. Some people say that Smart Lead's email deliverability is cooked. So I'm just going to log in to my account here. Okay. And then I'm going to go to campaigns. First campaign, which is going to be ecom, or let's just name this. Okay, so the first campaign, logistics. Logistics. And then I'm going to go again and go to campaigns and create another one, which is going to be ecom brands. Continue. Okay, I'm going to go to settings, and then I'm going to go to integration. I'm going to go to API keys and make sure to go version 1, copy your API key, go back to make, click on instantly, click on add, paste in your API key. I just name this logistics and ecom, click on save. Sweet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to campaign ID. So the first one is going to be the logistics, and the leads email is going to be the first email. The first name is going to be split founder, and I'm going to map the logistic data based of a space, and then get 1. And then now I'm going to get 2 because it's the last name. Okay. Company name. I'm going to go to company name or name, I believe. Yeah. So logistic data name. Personalization is going to be the dream email that is tailored for is it this one? Let me save. Okay, let me give this name in conventions. So logistics dream email. Okay. And this is going to be ecom dream email. And this is going to be, we forgot to add a email, like a filter here. So only if email found. Okay. Click on save. Okay, sweet. So now I can just basically map everything by going to personalization. And this is going to be the dream email. Click on save. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, go to campaign ID. Now I'm going to map the ecom brand, which is going to be the email here. First name. Essentially, let me just go to instantly. And I'm just going to map this. And I'm just going to paste it here. And now I'm just going to basically, instead, I'm going to map the founder name, which is going to be ecom data. Okay. Control C, Control V. And this is going to be 1. And it's going to be 2. Okay. Name is going to, oops. Did not want to do this. And then ecom here. And personalization is going to be, go to dream email, click on save, add to logistics, sequence. And this is going to be add to ecom sequence. Now let's just save this, auto online this, and then let's just run once. Okay. All right. So we added both our campaigns. So here is the first one, which is the ecom brands. I have my lead added. And if I go to personalization, I go to personalization. I'm going to have the copy here. And then In terms of subject line, I'm going to go connecting company name with, let's just go to, with pre-vetted partners. Yeah, this is good. With pre-vetted partners. Okay. These companies would be like, pre-vetted partner? Yeah, I want to hear more. I'm going to go to send from my iPhone, which is my signature. Click on save. And if I go now to my logistics, I will see again my lead added. Same thing, personalization. And there we go. And what I'm going to do is same thing, connect in company name with fast growing e-com businesses. Yeah? Yeah. Fast growing brands. E-com brands. Okay. With fast growing e-com brands. There we go. Gonna add sent from my iPhone. Click on save, and that's pretty much it. The only thing I have to do now is essentially remove the limit here, batch this by going 500, and I'll batch the second one as 500, add the first 500, okay? And I'm gonna go to offset and essentially skip the first 500 and process the second 500, and I can essentially just launch the campaign, and I can effectively just connect to industries. And that's how you connect to industries using AI and sales automation. As you can see, it's not rocket science. You just need to understand that the core business fundamentals are going to remain the same regardless of the technology. So this is your wake-up call to stop chasing shiny ideas and stop being a glorified freelancer and solve real problems for real businesses. So get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.